You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Dallas Cowboys. Why the Dallas Cowboys 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Or if anybody's going to watch the replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. It really does. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, as I try to do every night, try to shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer, but, I'm going to go at least 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw it in the chat box. It's nice to talk to somebody sometimes, other than just like rambling on and on and on and on. So I check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So if something gets put in there, as soon as I see it, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Okay. Anybody, before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, there's the top link. It takes you to my membership page. I have 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. Okay, so if anybody wants to help support my channel, once again, thank you. It would mean so much to me. And if you are subscribed to my channel, or if you're not, either way, if you are, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. If you're not, go down below, hit the subscribe button, the bell icon. That way, next time I go live, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose? And then finally, okay, also in the description box below, all right, there's 2 Facebook links. Okay, the top one takes you to my Facebook, the group. Okay, it's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. Everything I got, the YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and the Facebook page is all called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. That way, even a moron like me, I can remember everything, right? There's nothing. It's all the same. Right now, we have over 2,600 members in the group, okay? There's stuff going in here every day, all right? I try to put stuff in there. It's 7 days a week, I put stuff in there. I spend, between the group and the page, I spend half an hour to an hour like on each one every day. And the nice thing about it, if you become a member of the group, okay, it's not only do I post stuff in here as well, okay, but the members post stuff in here. Okay, so, between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going to the group every day. Then the second Facebook link, okay, takes you to my Facebook page, right? New York Giants, the Gridiron. Right now, we have 756 people who like it, and there's over 3,400 members who are following it right now. So between the two, between the page and the group, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day, right? I said I put stuff in both of them. I don't try to commingle them. So basically, whatever I put in the group doesn't go in the page and vice versa, right? So if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it and you go to the group and you become a member, you get a ton of stuff every day. New York Giants, 7 days a week, all right? As I said, always. If you're not satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, with all that stuff said and done, March Madness is here, guys. It's upon us, man. It's like like Hanukkah. It's like the eight crazy nights of Hanukkah, right? You get like each night you get a different gift and stuff. I mean, it's just like just like about a month or so ago, the season just ended. Then we had like maybe the Senior Bowl and the scouting combine. Now you got free agency rolling around, so you have that going crazy for a couple weeks. Then things will start dying down a little bit. With that, then everybody's attention will start going toward the draft, and then you get the draft picks, and before you know it, they'll have like the little mini camps and stuff like that, and before you know it, freaking July will be here and be mandatory camps, and every training camp will be open. Before you know it, we're going to be kicking off again. I just don't know who we're playing next year in week 1, but before you know, guys. September is going to be here. But I mean, it's just another one of those You really like it the way they kind of like plan everything out, because there's not like a real big long lull in the football season where it's like, oh man, we just lost, we lost, or say, especially if you make the playoffs, right? We just lost. Well, we're up to now. That's 18 weeks, right? When I first started, it was only 14 weeks, right? Because there was no bye weeks or not like that. But I mean, so after week 18, you wind up losing. There's like really no long stretch period of time where there's like nothing. There's always like something going on. Whether it's in the college and you looking at the potential draft prospects coming out, or they got the free agency, which it is right now. I mean, I know the Bears seem like they're like going to girly world right now, because they got like $300 trillion, I think they can spend. So they're going out and buying everybody. Oh man, Sam Darnold and Jimmy G, and oh man, I mean, you keep hearing these little rumors and little stuff like that. That maybe Aaron Rodgers might be a Jet very soon. So, man, it's exciting time. And then you got Darren Payne. What was it? I mean, this will, sexy Dexy, right? Darren Payne got what was it, I think 4 years, $90 million as a defensive tackle. Now, he's a better pass rusher, or at least this past season he was anyway. Than Dexter was, okay? But Dexter was just a menace to society inside. So sexy Dexy kind of has some type of an idea what type of deal he'll be looking forward to. So now the Giants will have him right on his 5th-year option this year. Okay. But I mean, if he turns out, I mean, what Payne got $22.5 million a year, right? So Dexter can like put back-to-back menace to society seasons, right? He'll be looking at 20 to 25 million. The one problem is that with the Giants drafting all, so many years in a row, picking low, but not only so much that, hitting on them, right? Because remember, we had a couple of years there, we had 14, okay, and then we had 17. But in between 14 we hit, 17, well, we had Ingram. We didn't want to resign him. We got his 5th-year option, but then we didn't want to resign him after that. But, but I mean, we had this 2 years where we took Flowers and Apple. I mean, holy whoo. But I'm saying, like, after that, being just bad and picking in the top 10, all of that. The one problem with that, okay, is that, when if you're going to keep him, which is, kind of been like against the Giants' method of operation, drafting guys and actually re-sign them. They just seem like they just want to draft guys and just let them go after their years are up. But the problem is that, which Joe Shane says is a good problem, okay? Drafting high, okay, and when these guys work out, right? I mean, like, what's Kayvon going to want? All right. He's not going to get a Bosa type of deal, 30 million, 35 million or anything like that, because it doesn't seem like he quite seems to, he's going to get better. He's going to get better. So he's going to want a nice chunk of change, right? But I mean, if somehow, if Azeez can stay healthy, right? We don't have a 5th-year option on him. So if he can stay healthy, what's he going to want, right? I mean, the dude really looked good last year. The minimum amount of time, he was in there for like 200, and I forgot what it was, 35, 40, 50, 60 snaps. He had like 5 sacks. I mean, like every 50 snaps, he's getting a sack. I mean, okay. He was just hurt. But I mean, if he can stay healthy, right? I mean, what Azeez might want, right? I mean, that's the problem as far as you got a couple defensive tackles there. I mean, we got Leonard Williams, maybe try to restructure his contract, maybe take that cap hit, $32 million cap hit, get that down, give us some more money toward free agency this year. So, I mean, we're going to keep Leonard Williams around maybe for a couple more years, right? So we're going to have Leonard Williams and we're going to have Sexy Dexy. What are those two guys going to want, right? And I said, you got Azeez Ojulari, you got Kayvon Thibodeau. What are those guys going to want, right? Then you got Evan Neal, right? And you got what's Andrew Thomas going to want? Right? What's Evan Neal? Evan Neal starts working on his craft. He's a obviously a first rounder, so we have to pick up his 5th-year option. Like, but what's he going to want somewhere down along the line, right? If Daniel Jones works on his, gets better, more comfortable in the system, we get some more weapons around there. Maybe takes his game up a little bit, right? Are they going to re-sign him again? What's he going to want, right? The one problem about it is having a lot of these some nice studs on the team is that, going to cost you, right? So I've seen some guys, like some people like and I get the Facebook groups and all that, kind of want, what's going on? Why are the Giants? I'm kind of laughing. See, like, why the Giants ain't doing anything? Well, they've been doing things, just let's not forget, we signed Daniel Jones. Again, we franchise tag Saquon Barkley. That's a lot of this stuff's not sexy, but it's kind of like as we're trying to bring back some of our guys. So because we're not going out there and going out and spend $30-40 million on guys, it doesn't look sexy, but we re-signed Lawrence Cager, all right. Not sexy, I get it, but we brought back, we signed Wyatt Davis, a guard, okay. We signed Jack Anderson, okay. Isaiah Hodgins, all right. Re-signed him, okay. We brought back Matt Breida, brought back Casey Kreider, Jamie Gillen, the Scottish Hammer, Sterling. We brought back Sterling Shepard, He's coming off his injury, so hopefully he can make the team. Hopefully he can make the final 53, right? But he'll have an opportunity to. Okay, we put the franchise tag on Saquon Barkley. Okay, we re-signed Daniel Jones. Okay. Unfortunately, the one thing was with Nick Gates. Hey, man, no. Nick Gates, man, thank you, brother. Thank you. And I wish you nothing but the absolute best with the Commanders. Okay, man. The problem with Nick Gates is that, the Giants wanted to bring him back, but they have so much. We got depth. Now, what I'm saying? We brought back all these other guys, offensive line. We got a lot of offensive linemen. We got a lot. Okay, who are under contract. Okay. So we have depth, but is it going to be good enough to to move the needle a little bit, so where we can get some more protection for Daniel Jones, maybe open up the running game a little more? We'll have to wait and see. But we got a lot of guys signed. Okay. The problem was with Nick Gates is that we wanted to bring him back. Okay, but it had to be, a couple $1 million, not a couple, $3 million, $4 million a year. If somebody went out there like the Commanders and threw some money at him, okay, that's where he was going, and that's what wound up happening to him. Okay, so obviously I wish him nothing but the best. Let's what do we let's see here. Does it say? I know I had the contract. Okay, 3 years, $16.5 million, with another $1.5 million for a max value of $18 million. He gets $8 million guaranteed. So basically, they were giving him $5.5 million a year, and possibly get 3 years up to $18 million. So possibly get up to $6 million. I guess that was possibly more than the Giants wanted to spend on him. I guess maybe, So if somebody threw some money at him, that's certainly a fair market value for him. 16.5 for 3 years. That's very, very, very fair market for what he can do. He's played tackle, he's played center, he's played guard. What the hell can't the guy do? Okay, is he going to do it at an all-pro level? No. Okay, but is he have flexibility? Absolutely. For $6.5 million a year, or was it $5.5 million a year? Oh yeah. So, unfortunately, we can't bring everybody back. It's just the nature of the beast. Then we still have other guys too. Let's say we got, we're going to be able to bring back Darius Slayton once again. Somebody with him, somebody the team throws some money at him, like $6-7 million a year or something like that. Just throwing numbers out there. That's probably where he's going to wind up going. Sure, the Giants maybe have talked to him about maybe trying to bring him back, but it would, I'm not saying it has to be a team friendly deal or something, but the Giants probably only going to want to spend so much on the guy. As I said, if some team goes out there and throws a little bit of extra money at him, I'm sure that's where he's going to wind up going. Right? We got Julian Love that we, right, try to bring him back. That could cost $6 to $8 million. Now he hasn't signed with anybody yet, so we don't know how close he might be to signing with with another team, or how close he might be signed to the Giants. Don't know that, right? Got Oshane Ximines, Marcus Johnson, Fabian Moreau. I'd like to bring Fabian Moreau back. It gives you some nice depth in the cornerback position. Richie James, right? Because we're thin in the wide receiver position. It would be nice to bring him back. A guy can also return punts for you too. Jihad Ward, Wink Martindale loves him, right? If you can bring him back for on a cap friendly deal, right? I'm sure they would like to try to bring him back. We got Nick Ellis. No, I'm sorry, Justin Ellis and Nick Williams. I don't think either one of those guys are coming back. That's why we wind up signing the one guy I'm going to go over in a minute here. Feliciano, trying to bring Feliciano back. But unfortunately, the thing is, the way it is, and the business, the nature of the beast is, you can't sign everybody. They can't. It's just the way it is. Back in the day, when teams were guys were basically property of the teams. Like this is what we're paying you. If you don't like it, well, I guess you won't be getting paid then. That's when you can have guys for, years on end. You can build a team, right? Every year you draft some guys, you add a couple pieces to the puzzle, and these core group of guys, you had these guys the following year, okay? Then you add somebody else to the puzzle here. And, that way it was kind of like the way it was back when I grew up, is that, if you were good this year, chances are you're going to be good next year. Like back in the 70s, like if you made the playoffs this year, there's a good chance you're going to make the playoffs the following year. Unless you had like decimated by injuries or something. But you had the same group of guys year in and year out. And you would add to it maybe in free agency, not free agency, in the draft. Okay, so you can always keep those same group of guys. Okay, as long as you can add a couple guys to your team every year, you always had good teams. Well, that's not the way it is nowadays. You can't bring back everybody. But the Giants, so far they've been, I said they've signed Lawrence Cager, Wyatt Davis, Jack Anderson, Isaiah Hodgins. So that's 4. Okay. We signed Jamie Gillen, right? That's 5. Casey Kreider at 6. Matt Breida, we brought him back at 7. We signed Daniel Jones, franchise tag Saquon Barkley, and brought back Sterling Shepard. So that's 10 guys so far, plus a couple more. Okay. So 10, that's 11. We got 2 more guys that haven't gone over yet. That's, so, the Giants have done, they haven't made that real big, huge, sexy splash. I don't think they are. Okay. Because they had to go out and, between Daniel Jones, he's about $40 million a year. And in between Saquon, that's not what is going to go up against the cap this year. But, Daniel Jones, that's some big money, right? And then Saquon, right? So between the two, So, unfortunately, bringing back some of your players, re-signing some of your players is not always sexy. But the Giants have been, they've been active. Okay. Let's see here. Where the heck is this? Yeah. One thing I really love, and I'm happy for him, at least he got a little bit bump up in salary. Well, good for him. Good old Matt Breida. Now we got the Killer Bees back. Now he agreed to a 1 year, $2.3 million. Last year he was only making, what was it? Was it 1.047? That's what it says here. Yeah. So basically he doubled the salary. Good for him. Way to frickin' go. Love it. Good. So we got the Killer Bees back. We got Brightwell, we got Breida, and we got Barkley. Okay. So we got the Killer Bees back. Now, obviously you don't know for how long. Hopefully, we can re-sign Saquon to a multi-year deal. Brightwell is not a Dable/Shane guy. They have no ties to him, so you don't know how long he's going to be. The Giants can certainly, they got your Sean Corbin too. Don't forget about him. Don't forget about him, okay? And a good, solid running back draft class. Now, don't be surprised if the Giants don't take a running back in the draft class. If you got 11 picks, don't be surprised if they don't take a running back, okay? Maybe somebody to help maybe replace Breida in the years to come, or Brightwell, as I said, because Brightwell is, he has no attachment to Shane or Dable. So, but it's good to see. It's good to see. That I'm really happy they brought Breida back. Let's see. He played in all 17 games. He had the one start, okay, which was the last game of the season, okay. He got 74 touches for 338 yards, okay, which is over 4 yards a carry, right? So 75 touches would be 300 yards. So, yeah, he averaged like almost 4.5 yards a carry. 4.5 yards, actually about 4.5 yards a carry. Very respectable, okay? And he had the one touchdown. Breida saw action on 264 offensive snaps and 178 special team snaps, okay? Obviously, and he came from the Bills. He has 623 touches for 3,348 yards and 14 touchdowns in his career. Okay, but I'm very happy that they brought him back. There was, it was somebody like him. It wasn't like he was going to break the bank, right? He's familiar with Shane and Dable. Now he's familiar with the system. Bring the guy back, and he doubled his salary basically. So good for him. Way to go! I'm very happy they brought Matt Breida back without question. Then, of course, all right, we wind up. Well, I'll go over the big guy last, but we brought it. We needed to get, so we got Raheem Nunez Roches from the Bucks. Okay, high quality human being. Apparently great in the locker room, good team player. I'm also reading tough as nails and all that. Good against the run. You ain't gonna get much production from the passing department. Okay, as far as sacks or anything like that. But New York Giants reportedly scored their first signing of the 2023 NFL free agency, agreeing to terms with veteran defensive lineman. But this is nice. This is nice to see. Okay, Raheem Nunez Roches. Art Stapleton is reporting that he's getting a 3-year deal, okay, worth $12 million over 3 years and $7.5 million guaranteed. So it's good. So you got him. Okay, now he's I think he's 30, right? Who will be 30 years old during the 20. Okay, so he'll be 30 years old, right? So, obviously not off of his rookie deal or anything like that, but he's not here for a cup of coffee, right? He's here for 3 years, right? Hopefully 3 years, right? So you have some decent depth there, okay? Wade Davidson coming back, okay. We have him. We got Dexter. We got obviously Leonard Williams. Let's see who else have we got here. I got so many tabs opened up here. Okay, defensive tackle. We got Ryder Anderson, Vernon Butler, DJ Davidson's coming back, right? So, we got some, but don't also, once again, to add to DJ Davidson, right? Don't forget the Giants will probably be adding somebody in the draft as well, too. It's not a real good defensive line class, okay? So if the Giants do draft somebody, I would probably in the later rounds. Okay, I don't know if they'll be drafting somebody in the 3rd or 4th round or anything like that as far as a defensive lineman. But look for them to add somebody in the draft. Okay, but this guy Nunez Roches, some good depth. Okay, now as I said, he's very good against the run. Okay, but once again, don't look for much of him as far as any type of production as far as like sacks at all or anything. This past season, according to PFF, he rated out at 56.6 overall. His run defense was a 58.4. Pass rush was a 54.4. Okay, he's 29 and a half. So he'll be July 3rd, he'll turn 30. Okay. 6'2", 307 pounds. Okay. I mean, he overlapped with Kafka in Kansas City. Okay. So there's a little bit of familiarity there. But I mean, he's never really graded out according to PFF. Okay. Super spectacular at anything. He's just some good quality depth. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Tampa Bay. He won the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, right? So he knows what it takes to win. But I mean, as far as PFA, he's never really graded out anything super duper spectacular. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's see. I think he has like 3.5 sacks. Yeah, he has 3.5 career sacks. Okay. So don't expect really much of way of any sacks. And 2 of those sacks came this past season. All right. So before his last season, he had 1.5 sacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His first 7 seasons, he had 1.5 sacks. So don't expect much of anything from any type of pass rush from him. Okay, but he's decent against the run. Okay, once again, he's some quality depth. All right, that was one of the things that the Giants, especially if they were going to try to add some good depth. This was the draft class was not the way to go. I said once again, don't be surprised if they don't add a defensive lineman. Okay, in the draft. Okay, just to add to what their stable of guys that they have. But it's good. They were going to have to go out. They want to get somebody with some decency to them. Okay, they were going to have to go out in free agency. And I think this one right here was very, very good because they got him for a few years. Okay, and he's not breaking the bank. Okay, so this is a good solid depth pickup. Okay, without question. And then finally they got, I guess, pretty much their big little splash. Okay, you weren't sure how they were going to go about. Like last year, because of the lack of funds they had, they brought in the Glowinski, 3 years, $18 million. They brought in the $6 million a year guy. Okay, now the Giants weren't trying to re-sign Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley and bring back all their other free agents. I mean, they still got to try to hopefully maybe bring back Julian Love. You might have to try to, somewhere along the lines, you're going to have to start working on contract extensions for Andrew Thomas and Sexy Dexy and, Xavier McKinney, So the Giants are going to be spending some money in the years to come, but it's going to be on their own guys. So they're not bringing if it gets a little disappointing because they're not like bringing in all these guys, right? It's because they're spending some money on their own guys. They're drafting them, developing them, keeping them, paying them, right? So, so you weren't exactly sure, how much of it they were going to wind up spending. Like when you say Tremaine Edwards, he got paid. I think it was like $18 million from the Bears. It's kind of maybe they could bring him in, but but so Okereke, right? I mean, good, solid, without question. I mean, a nice $10 million a season, right? Giants made their first real splash when Monday evening, signing former Colts linebacker Bobby Okereke, right? It was Ian Rappaport was first with the news. I don't really give a rat's ass who was the first with the news. Art Stapleton is reporting that Okereke and the Giants agreed to 4-year, $40 million deal. Okay, he's got $22 million guaranteed. So now basically, he'll be 27 next season. Okay, so he's still young. Okay, 27, 28, 29. So by the time the deal is over with his final season, if he stays for all 4 years, he'll still only be 30 years old. Okay, so he's still young. All right, he's not holding the torch for nobody or anything. He's going to be here. Hopefully he'll be the foundational piece in the middle. He'll be that Antonio Pierce, hopefully, right? That we can hopefully build around. Okay, so it's very, very important to have somebody like him in there. I mean, when was the last time the Giants have had a stout, middle linebacker in there, right? Let's see. He was a 3rd-round pick by the Colts in 2019. So I mean, he's just basically out of his rookie contract, right? He's a 3rd-round pick. 17 games and 16 starts in 2022. Okereke had a career high 151 tackles. All right. Very, very solid. Okay. Including 99 solo tackles and 6 for loss. He had 5 passes defense and 2 forced fumbles. The year before that, Okereke had 132 tackles. Okay. Solid. All right. I mean, is he the best? No. But for $10 million, and now we just added somebody to, a tackling person in the middle of the lineup, huge. Now we got him. We're going to be getting Beavers back. Okay. We got McFadden. Okay. We have some guys. Don't forget. Well, don't be surprised if the Giants don't draft somebody as well too. Okay. Maybe they add some more depth to that position. Okay. But at least we have somebody now. Okay. Who can man the middle. Okereke, PFF 73.3, right? Grade overall. He was a 79.3 as a run defender. Okay, so once again, very good against the run. Okay, let's see here. Okereke stepped up in a major way in the absence of fellow off-ball linebacker Shaquille Leonard. He had a 72.9 grade, ranking 23rd at the position. Okay, so he's 23rd overall. All right. Very, very respectable, but grade-wise and all. Okay. Okereke was particularly stout against the run with his 13 defensive stops against the run, tied for 13th most. Okereke is now coming off back-to-back seasons with at least 100 tackles and 50 defensive stops. Okay. So let's see. Where the heck? Here we go. All right, Okereke, he graded out 73.3, 79.3 against the run. Pass rush, 48.5. His coverage is a 67.4. Right, he had he's only played 4 seasons. Okay, his rookie season he did very well. In his past season he did very well. I mean, he played a lot of snaps in 2021. Right, so he's somebody who goes in there and can play a lot of snaps. All right, looks like he played in every game this past season. Right, so very good, solid. I mean, it's an upgrade. Okay, it doesn't mean that the other teams won't be able to run the ball against us. Absolutely not. Okay, but without question, his tackling ability, his run defense will certainly make a huge difference for the New York Giants this upcoming season. So far. Right, you got to be very, very happy. I mean, the Giants still going to get rid of Kenny Golladay's salary, hopefully work Leonard Williams, right? Maybe they can somewhere along the line work something out with Saquon Barkley. Instead of his cap hit being $10.1 million, they maybe drop his cap hit down a little bit this year. So there's ways the Giants can get some more money. Okay, but let's not forget that the Giants still have like 12 or 13 of their own free agents that they might want to try to bring a few more of those guys back. I mean, like Feliciano, right? As I said, I mean, there's a bunch of guys. I don't know what they want to do with Slayton or with James. There's a bunch of other guys. So, I mean, if they're not out there spending hog wild, going crazy, bringing in these big name free agents. So that's because they might be trying to bring back their core guys that they had last year, right? The guys that helped them go to the playoffs. And then they, maybe sprinkle in 1 or 2 nice juicy free agents, okay, and then try to build through the draft. So far so good. The Giants are off and running, but free agency will be going on for a while. I mean, a lot of the heavy hitters will be going early, okay? Got like a lot of big names going early, and then it starts tailing off. Right. So then, after that, then you get a little sprinkling here and there. The Giants pick up this free agent here. 3 or 4 days later, they pick up somebody else, so, right. A lot of the big names are going first. All right. So the Giants picking up Okereke, and they got themselves a middle linebacker. Right. So then they got Okereke in the middle. Right. You got Sexy Dexy, you got Leonard Williams, and you got your 2 edge rushers. Right. That's a nice 5-some right there. Really nice. Okay. Adoree Jackson. 1 cornerback, you got Xavier McKinney back there, so that's 5. You got 6, that's 7 nice guys, right? Maybe they might pick a cornerback in the first round here, So, I mean, between the draft, add another one or two pieces to the puzzle, the Giants might have themselves a nice defense this year. I mean, don't look for anything, any big time, huge, gigantic numbers from them or anything like that. I mean, as far as like sack totals, or they're only giving up 7 points a game, something like that. But should be a nice defense as long as they can stay healthy. It should help the Giants stay in a lot of ball games. And then if the Giants can add a little more firepower to the offense, right? With a little better defense and a little more firepower from the offense, hopefully the Giants can, duplicate the success that they had last season. Well, guys, it's been 35 minutes. Anybody spent any time at all watching me? Thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, it means so much to me. Or if anybody spends any time at all watching and replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It really means the world to me. And as always, guys, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo! Oh, yeah.